Hi, everyone. We are so sorry for the late delay here. We had a little bit of technical issues, but I think now we've got it figured out. Hey, Sabrina.
Thank you. Whew, okay, we're good. Hello, everyone. I think we're still connecting to some audio. Okay, we'll give it a minute. Hello, hello. All right, so I've got you guys on mute. Hear me okay? Everyone can hear me? Okay, perfect. So again, we apologize for little technical difficulties, but we are here now. So you all received your workbooks, correct? Workbooks, okay. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of a workshop first, and then we're going to actually workshop it ourselves, like write down all of our things that we want to talk about and make our goals. So you should have your workbook up so that you're able to do things as we talk. If you want to jot things down. And then after I'm done speaking, I would like us to kind of chat about our goals and see how we can spend these next I guess it's 8 weeks now together for the next 6 classes afterwards. So anyone have any questions right now? Get started, we're good? Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And then actually, Brandy, are you still there? You need to give me host access. Hold on.
Okay, it should work now, Sabrina.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to share my screen. Perfect. All right. Making sure that everyone can see my slides, right? Okay.
We can, yep.
Perfect. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome to our what we're calling Mind Shift Academy. I am Sabrina Sarabella. Tell you a little bit about me, but just so you know what we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about how to set goals that you actually will accomplish, why your mind is truly in the driver's seat when it comes to making changes, how to overcome negative self-talk. We're going to make a roadmap to your success and figure out how to create some daily habits that will set you up for success. So again, over these next 6 weeks of these classes, I want to make sure that we have these goals. We're going to accomplish these goals, and we're going to get you guys all to the end goal we want to do. All right. Oops, that was me. Oh, whatever. So I'm Sabrina Sarabella. I work with Esther. I've known Esther for over 20 years. We actually worked together. I was her client about 20 years ago. And then after grad school, I worked and accompanied her. And now I'm in her practice for a while, and as nutritionist coach and health coach and fitness coach. So I'm a clinical nutritionist. I have my master's in nutrition. I'm also a certified personal trainer, group fitness instructor. I have basically every fitness certification under the sun, Pilates, yoga, all those sorts of things. Also a Reiki master, behavior change specialist, and in the process of getting my NLP and hypnosis certification. So I tell you not these things to brag, but to say that, I've been here, I've done this, I've worked with this many times, many years. So I'm here to kind of share some really fun stuff with you. Okay, so we're first going to start with a mini basic goal setting exercise. What I want you to do is to take a moment to close your eyes. So take a few moments. I want you to close your eyes right now. And then I want you to picture yourself where you are at the end of this coaching program. So at the end of the 6 weeks in May, around it is, I want you to feel, how are you different from where you are today? What have you accomplished? So again, just take a few moments to actually feel it in your body. So close your eyes, know where you are right now at this moment, how you feel, and then how do you feel? How do you act? What are some things that you've accomplished in the next 6 weeks? So I'm going to give you a few moments to kind of think about that and then also visualize that. So really feel it in your body. Great. So again, put it in your body, feel it. If you want to write some things down, jot some things down, what you come up with, go ahead, great. We're going to actually do some more writing exercises at the end of this workshop. But if anything comes up throughout this workshop, I want you to write it down, take notes, ask questions. You can throw it in the chat. I'm here to help you. All right. So we've kind of got that feeling in our body. So let's begin today. Let's figure out a little bit about goals. So we talk about goal setting all the time, right? Everyone always talks about setting goals, setting resolutions, all those sorts of things. But a goal, to break it down, is something that you want to achieve. It's a desired results. Maybe it's a vision of the future. It can be large or small. It can be, and you want it to be time sensitive, right? The presentation still says loading.
Yeah, Sabrina, it's not showing your slides. I have it up on my computer. If you want me to just share my screen, I can.
Let me try it again. Let me just see. I don't know why it, and then you can let me know if it's still, that happened last time, right? I don't know why.
Mhm.
What is tech? I'm usually really good with technology. I don't know what is going on today. I'm a pro at this. I've done this a million times.
The tech gods are just
Not on my
favoring
side
us
today.
today.
I shut down my
Okay.
presentation just to kind of restart it again. Let me just see if I can pull it back up. And then if not, I'll have you do it, Brandy. And then we'll
Okay.
figure out why this doesn't do this
Okay.
for the next time. Okay, try one more time.
Yeah, Melissa, you're so right. She says we're still in the energy of the full moon, which always makes everything crazy, right?
Seriously, I did a whole full moon gong bath last night. So I don't know if I'm still like reeling from that or what's going on, but yeah. Oh, okay, let me try this one more time. And again, if not, then Brandy will do it for us. Share. Can you see
Like
them?
right now we can see it.
Okay.
And then when it just says loading.
And that still says loading?
Yeah.
All right. We can see him here.
Okay. Yep. I can see it there. Can you go to view and then slideshow? Maybe see if that, yeah.
That way works. Can you see it now?
No, it's still not working. That's so weird. Now it's like a split screen. I can just share my screen, Sabrina. No problem.
Unless you want to just do it like this. Can you see that?
We can. Yep.
Do you want to just do like this? So it's
That works. If that works for everybody, yeah, we can just do that.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We'll figure this out next time. Full moon. I'll do my little Reiki clearing after this. Try to get me some good technology. Okay. All right. So goals, right? So we want to set goals that we can actually accomplish and some that we actually can reach for. Again, there can be all over it, but I like to make sure, and we'll go through this, how to make it actually come true, like how to actually achieve them. So we'll get through those. So goal is not just an objective. It's not a resolution. So I always say in the beginning of the year when people like to do New Year's resolutions, don't set a resolution, set a goal, right? Because a resolution usually is something that you're kind of just like wishing for. It's like out in the air, like I'm gonna be a whole new person by the next year. And like that's not really tangible, right? That's not a good goal. So usually a resolution also is temporary. It gives us short-term gratification. And then a goal is not a mission. Mission statements are usually just like clear and concise. It's just like about a purpose or driven. So a lot of times we want to define what exactly a goal means first before we break them down. Okay, so why are goals so important? You want to share in the chat, you can always give me some, I'm happy to get some interaction. Let me know what you feel. So goals give us a sense of direction and a purpose. It helps us to see the bigger picture, right? So if we just kind of went around life and just kind of like let life happen to us, right? And some people just do that. We kind of just let things happen. But you are the controller of your own life. You get to make your own destiny, right? So, and that's so exciting. And the way we do those things is we make goals. I call it sometimes manifesting, right? Same thing. We talked about the full moon. We do a lot of manifesting around the moon cycles. Setting goals is almost the same thing. And I'll teach you how to speak about goals so that actually they come true. They give us a sense of our future, right? Again, we want to have a reason, we want to go somewhere, a roadmap to get somewhere. We want to control what we want to control in our life, and we want to make ourselves have a better life, and we need to set up these goals for that. So that's why it's so important to have goals. Okay, let's talk about what actually some goal setting tips to help you with. Okay, so our first one is I want to consider our why. So actually in your notebook, in your workshop workbook, you actually have a space here for considering your why. So if you're starting to think about it now, you can start to jot that down. And then a why is what inspires you? Why do you want to accomplish this goal? So a lot of times I use a basic, okay, I want to lose weight. All right, I want to start exercising 5 times a week at 6 in the morning. Okay. What's my why behind it? Well, I want to kind of fit into those jeans. Well, what really is my why behind it? I want to be able to see my kids grow up and run around with them. I want to see grandkids. I want to be able to be healthy, right? So what happens is when the alarm goes off at 5 in the morning and it's freezing outside and cold, and you're like, I don't want to work out today. You go back to that why and you say, okay, why am I really truly doing this? Why am I getting up at 5 in the morning? Because I want to add energy into my day. I want to, again, see my grandkids grow up. I want to be healthy. All those sorts of things go back to your why, because that is what's going to get you up at 5 in the morning when it's pitch black outside and you have these goals. So whenever you do a goal, you want to make sure you go back to that. Why are we accomplishing these things? Why do I want these things in my life? You also need to be passionate about your goals and that you want to achieve them. A lot of times we set goals, or I even say manifestations, because society tells us we have to do that, because our parents said we have to do that, because our husband said we have to do that. When you set a goal that you're not passionate about, and you can probably think back in your past on a goal that you set and you're kind of like, nah, I'm kind of really not into that, but it feels like I should do that goal, you're less likely to achieve it, right? Because there's no passion behind it. There's no like from you don't really want to accomplish that. So you're kind of going to put it on the back burner. So when you're thinking about your goal, first, why? And B, why are you passionate about it? Because also you want to look at your goals and say, do I really truly want this in my life? Again, you're manifesting, letting the universe know, I want this. And if they know that you're not in alignment with that, you won't achieve those goals because you don't truly want it. Goals should also be meaningful, and you should feel a sense of pride when you achieve them. Right? How amazing do you feel when you set a goal in your career or your life and you've accomplished it? And then you're like, oh my goodness, you're just so proud of yourself, right? Anything that you really want to achieve, you want to make sure that actually it makes you feel good. It makes you, when you feel done with it, you're going to want to share it with all of your friends, all of your family, and you're going to really want to even tell the whole world about it, right? Think about when you either lose weight or you try to change these healthy goals and people ask you like, oh my God, you look amazing. What do you do it? You tell them, you're like, I'm working out 5 times a week. I'm working with Esther and Sabrina. I'm tracking my food. I feel amazing. You should go follow them on Instagram, right? That's what happens. So when you're working on your goals, I want you to go back and consider your why. What inspires you? Are you truly passionate about these goals? And when you're done with that, will you feel a sense of pride around it? Now, also, when we are setting our goals, we want to imagine our future. We want to imagine what our life is going to look at when we actually achieve these goals. So the first exercise I had you do was close your eyes and visualize yourself the way you look, the way you feel, the way you're being after this coaching program is over, after the next 6 weeks, right? You want to imagine what your life looks like in the future. That will really help you set up your goals. Because again, if you're saying, I want to accomplish this one thing, and then you visualize yourself where you are in that 6 weeks or whatever the end goal is, and then you really can't feel it, or you're not really like, oh, I don't know if I really want that in my life anymore, you can go back and adjust your goals, right? At any time, we can go back and adjust our goals. So making sure that you are, again, in alignment in your future, you see this, you actually want those sorts of things. Because I've dealt with people or work with people many times and they say they want a certain thing. And then they go think about it in the future, or they even accomplish it. And then they're like, oh, I don't know if I really want this anymore. This is not the way I want my life to be, right? So again, when we're setting goals, it's important to project forward, look at that future to actually see how your life is with these goals in it. So I'm sure you've heard about SMART goals before, right? How to actually set goals with SMART goals. So we want to make sure our goals are SMART, they're specific, So we are very specific on what we want to accomplish, correct? We want to make sure that we are concise. We're not just giving a broad, I want to lose weight. How much weight do you want to lose? Do you want to lose 100 pounds? Do you want to lose 1 pound? Those sorts of things. We need to be specific about our goals. They also need to be measurable, right? Can we measure them? The same thing with that weight loss goal. I want to lose weight. Well, how can we measure how we're losing weight? On the scale, maybe you want to measure it through pictures. We want to measure it through our tape measure, however it is, right? We want to be able to measure our goals. Then we want to think about, are they attainable? Now, saying I want to lose 80 pounds in 6 weeks, that's not attainable or healthy, correct? If you say you want to lose 10 pounds, 5 to 10 pounds in 6 to 8 weeks, that's more attainable, right? We usually say 1 to 2 pounds, depending on how much you want to lose, how much body fat you have to lose. So making sure when you're making those goals, that it's something you can actually accomplish, something that you're going to, not drive yourself crazy, be like, I'll never get there, but something you're actually like, oh, I can actually do these things. It's totally attainable. We also want to make sure it's relevant. And that actually goes back to, again, something you want to do. Do you really want this? Is it relevant in your life? Is this something you're working on? So now let's say if you are, you have a million things going on at work and you have, you're taking care of the family and all this stuff. And you're like, I'm going to get a workout in at 12 o'clock every day. Well, that's not relevant because you're not like, that's not going to happen, right? You're busy in the day. So you've got to figure out things that are actually relevant to you, right? This is something you really want. It's actually the right time. It's attainable. And then we want to give goals a time limit. We want to say, we want to accomplish this certain thing by 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is. We want to give it some kind of end time because we want to be able to say, okay, I've accomplished these things. Here's my goal. Here's what I'm going to celebrate. And if we didn't accomplish by this certain date, we can actually go back, adjust our goals, and then set new goals or set new action steps to reach those goals. So that's important. Good. Okay. So we've gotten how to write down, how to set some goals. Now, I believe it's super important to write goals down and then to make them visible for us to see. So we have the worksheets. We're going to write some stuff down. And I'm actually going to ask you to, if you feel like it, share it in the chat, maybe one goal that you want to have at the end of the 6 weeks. And then if you can, I'll let you know, we'll follow up with this. If you can throw it in the Facebook group and let us know what is your goal so that we're able to kind of help you and guide you and adjust those goals, right? I'm here for you. Esther's here for you. We are here to help you through this journey and help you to reach your health and wellness goals or any goal that you might have, we can help you with. So why is it important to write goals down and make them visible? You want to we want to actually write them down because we're not just daydreaming about them. We want to make them smart. We want to make sure that we are actually specific enough, all those things, attainable, time bound, right? It's really good to write things down pen to paper too. It's almost like getting it out of it. I'm a type everything, but when I write down my goals or my manifestations, especially around the moons, I like to take pen and paper. I feel like the universe sees it better. I know it. I actually get it out. It's me actually physically doing it. So I like to say, let's take a pen and paper and write down your goals. When we write them down, it also makes them tangible and real, right? We see them in front of us. I want to lose 5 pounds by the end of April, right? I see it. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I know it every day. I'm going to make sure that all of my goals are to it. Awesome. Thank you, Liz. Perfect. We got some goal sharing already. Love it. Okay. So we also want to make sure that they are written somewhere and somewhere you can see them and that you'll be reminded of, right? So the whole point of goal setting is to, again, take action steps so we can start to accomplish these goals. It's not so we make a goal, we forget about it, and things happen. If we reach it, great. If we don't reach it, great, right? No, that's not what we're setting goals for. We're setting goals because we want to be reminded. We want to make sure that we reach them. So it is helpful to write them down. And then it's also really great to write them down and put them somewhere you can see them. So maybe it's, not eating, not drinking enough, like cutting back on alcohol. So you put a little sticky pad on your liquor cabinet or where you keep your wine. And you say, my goal to cut back on alcohol. So when you go to grab that bottle, you think, oh no, I said I wanted to, my goal is to cut back, so I'm not going to do that, right? Or maybe it's again to say, I love you every day in the mirror, giving positive affirmations. So you're going to put that on your sticky pad on a mirror, and you're going to say, every time I go to the mirror, I want to say, I love myself more, my positive affirmations, and it's right there for you. I also love putting it in my phone as a reminder. So every day, if it's like my goal is to meditate every day, a reminder pops up when I first get up, maybe 6 a.m, 5 minutes of meditation. Maybe I check in around noon, a second pop up, like meditate every day. Did you meditate today? Those sorts of things. That is really good. So again, same thing with, we talk about supplements a lot, and a lot of times we forget to take our supplements, or we're like not in the groove of them, or they're out of the mind. Putting them in your calendar, whatever, at noon, did you take your supplements today? Because your goal was to take your supplements every day. Those sorts of things. So figure out again where you want to put these goals that you have and throw them out publicly. You want to put them again in your phone, on your computer, on your mirror, wherever is good for you. But we want to make sure when we set these goals, they're in front of us and we can see them. Good. All right. So we also want to break down our bigger goals into smaller ones, right? So usually the goals that are our more large scale. Good. Love those, Heidi, right? Those goals. Perfect. So the goal is, again, so we have a big goal. So maybe it's again to exercise 5 times a week in the next 6 weeks. We're going to break them down into more manageable goals. So that exercise now turns into, I'm going to do a recorded workout at 5 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? So those are kind of more goals and action steps. Also, if we want to set up like a big goal, sort of as I want to, feel amazing at the end of the 6 weeks and change everything, I'm going to break it down to, I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to eat more protein into my day. I'm going to take daily walks, or whatever it is. So, right. So whatever our big goal is, we come down and we make them a little smaller and more manageable. Because a lot of times if we make them too big, or again, if you want to lose 20 pounds by August, we'll break it down. Okay, we're going to lose 5 pounds by the end of April. So we're breaking them down into smaller steps. Same thing as we want to set deadlines, talked about that time constraints to reach each goals. And again, if you don't reach that goal, we'll adjust it and we'll make a new goal. And then if you reach it, great, or celebrate, right? So again, just making sure we have deadlines for each one of those. You can even use a goal ladder, I call it. So you put your main goal at top and then smaller goals underneath it. So we know our top one, and then we have on the rungs, the bottom one. So whatever your big goal is, we can always break it down to small goals. We also want to make sure we prioritize our goals. So this happens a lot, I say, with New Year's resolutions, right? People say, okay, this year, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to work out. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then you become super overwhelmed with everything and you get nothing done. So it's okay to have great goals, big goals, lots of goals. We want to prioritize them. So maybe our first priority is eating more protein into our day. Okay, we got that down. We're going to add something else in. We're going to add something else in. And now we've begun to build habits on top of each other. And we're doing all these action steps and all these goals we're accomplishing, right? So look at your goals. And again, it's okay to do a few goals at a time, but if you have like 25 goals you want to accomplish, let's just prioritize them. What are we going to prioritize first? What are we going to put more weight on? And then make sure we get those things done, right? We only have a finite willpower and things we can accomplish with our day. We're all busy. We all have a million things going on. So we want to make sure that we are giving the weight to the right priorities, the right goals first. So again, looking at our goals, prioritizing them. And then we need to develop a plan. We can't just have a goal and say, I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of summer. What am I going to do about it? I don't know. It's just going to happen, right? 20 pounds just happens, probably something's wrong with you, right? You've got to actually do something to do it. We have to have a plan. We're going to eat more protein. We're going to eat 3 to 4 balanced meals a day. I'm going to intermittent fast twice a week. I'm going to work out 3 times a day, those sorts of things. So developing a plan, which we're actually going to help you do, right? We have it kind of all broken out through this session, through this membership, is to actually how to build on each things and add these things on. So developing a plan is important because we can't just have a goal, right? They say a goal without a plan is just a wish. We're not wishing. We're setting those goals. We're going to take those action plans to write it down. So we're going to write down the steps you need to achieve these goals. We're going to actually have an action plan. So again, if it's the same thing, if we're looking at working out 3 times a week, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to book it into our calendar. We're going to plan out the workouts in advance. We're going to make sure we have weights at our house. Anything like that, we're going to start to, again, break it down. So again, we will help with those sorts of things. Okay. Now we can do all those amazing things. We can set all those goals. We can have all those plans, but what must we do? Take action. Because if we don't take action, we're not getting anything done, right? Same thing I talk about manifesting. And goal setting and manifesting, I call it, it's like basically the same thing. So manifesting is more of the moo word. Goal setting is more of like the, tangible word people use more. I like them both, on both. But you can't just say, I want to win the lottery and then never play the lottery, right? And you're never going to win it because you're not playing it. So we've got to take action. So looking at that, okay, I just planned out, I'm going to work out 3 times a week at 5 a.m. I'm going to pick out my workout. I got the weights at home. Now what do I have to do? I have to get up in the morning, put my gym clothes on, and actually lift those weights. So taking action, now that you have that plan in place, is what will get you to your goals. Same thing, I want you to also, we talked about breaking those big goals down into smaller goals. And I want you to focus on the small steps first, the small goals. Because what happens is, again, we start to look at the big goals and it's like, I want to lose 20 pounds and I want to, work out every day and I want to do all these things. And then it becomes overwhelming. But if I say, okay, this week, I'm going to get up every morning at 5 a.m. and take a walk. Okay. Or tomorrow, I'm going to set my alarm for 5 a.m. I'm going to take a walk. It's that small little step to get you to those bigger goals. And now by the end of the week or 2 weeks, you're like, I worked out every day because I set the goal, small goal, day by day. So it's important, again, not to be overwhelmed by all these big goals, but to break it down into smaller goals. Perfect. Okay. Now we can, again, do all these things and we can say all these things, have all these plans in place, but we also need to work on our mindset, right? Our mindset is so powerful. Our subconscious mind is so powerful, and it sometimes can hold us back and sometimes can pull us forward, right? So a few things I like to talk about when working on your mindset to help achieving your goal is you actually truly have to believe you can accomplish these goals. Now, if you set a goal and you're like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by the end of summer, and then you say to yourself, no, I'm not. I never do. That's not going to work for me. It doesn't work for me. It never works for me. I've never worked before. How are you going to accomplish that goal if you don't believe in it? I get sometimes, right, it hasn't happened before. You've been working on it for a long time, these sorts of things. But if you don't truly believe that you can accomplish the goal, you're not going to accomplish the goal. It's almost as simple as that. So our mind is so powerful. That's why, again, in the beginning, I asked you to visualize what you wanted to be in the next 6 months. Your mind needs to believe you can achieve these things. So another exercise would be, again, we'll go into these things, is to actually look at these goals and then visualize yourself the way you feel at the end of these goals every day. There's a meditation Esther loves to recommend, and she talks about. It is about healing your body. And what it does is it actually, you believe, you visualize, and then you feel it in your body, everything you want to change, everything you want to heal in your body. And then eventually, so your mind believes it, eventually your body catches up and it does these sorts of things. It's actually pretty amazing. There's been many, many researches on this and how your brain can react and how it can heal yourself, many books. So again, I want you to work on that mindset and believe when you look at these goals that you actually can accomplish these goals. So when you look at that, I want you to say, can I accomplish this? I want you to give a hell yeah, that. So it's not a hell yes, it's a no, right? Again, you want to make sure you believe in those sorts of things. Then we want to eliminate self-talk. So we all do this, right? We talk bad about ourselves. I don't like the way I look. Heidi, I'll get it to you. I'll put it in their Facebook group for you. I forget the exact, I have the link. I'll make sure I'll put it in there for you. It's on Insight Timer, but I forget the exact name, but I promise I'll get it to you today. So we want to eliminate self-talk. Negative self-talk, right? So if you ever think about the way you talk to yourself, would you talk to your friend like that? Or if your friend talked to you, would you be friends with them? We say some pretty harsh things to ourselves sometimes. Now, if you don't, that's amazing because most of us do. I know I do sometimes. I have to catch myself. Like if you look in the mirror, you put a pants on, like, oh, I look so gross today, right? Those sorts of things. And those are things we put or like this, I feel gross, or I look this, or those sorts of things. So those are the things you want to stop in your tracks and change it around. So again, I think it's a pretty easy example. If you put on a pair of pants, you're like, I don't like the way I look at this. I look gross. I look fat, all those sorts of things. You turn it around and you say, I look amazing. My body makes me do amazing things. I'm able to walk. I'm able to breathe. I live life, whatever it is to be grateful for. I want you to switch it around. So it's almost like a switch. I call it switch thinking. And that's like a process we talk about in NLP, but eliminating that self-talk and then switch around to a positive self-talk. So I want you to, again, the next couple of weeks, kind of be aware of this. How are you negatively talking to yourself? And then how can you switch that around into a positive thought? I also love the gratitude journal, or writing down or saying or being something you're grateful for every day. A few things you can write it down in a journal when you wake up in the morning or at night. A few things what you're grateful for. And they can be as simple as, I'm grateful for my hair. I'm grateful for a smile. I'm grateful to wake up this morning. I'm grateful for heat, those sorts of things. You can share it with your partner or your family. I have friends that do it over the dinner table with their family, and everyone has to say something they're grateful for that day. Or before you go to bed, say one thing that you're grateful for that happened in that day. Say it out loud. You can write it down, any of those things. That will help that negative self-talk. That'll help your mindset to be more positive. Again, when you focus on the positives in life, you focus on the good stuff, more good comes to you. It's the law of attraction. When you focus on the negative, more negative stuff comes to you. Not comes to you, you see more negative in things. So if you ever, again, you're having a really bad day and things start to go like one thing after another, it's because you're starting to focus on the negatives of the day. When you start to focus on the positives, you start to see more opportunity come your way. And if you haven't practiced this, try this for this week and let me know how it goes. It is amazing how practicing gratitude and practicing that positive will change your life. That one thing that'll totally change your life. So our mindset is something we have to work on every day, right? It's something that we're always kind of working on. Some days are better than others. Some days we're having bad days. Some days we're having good days. So it's something like, again, practicing that negative self-talk, eliminating it, using that switch thinking for that negative self-talk, using that gratitude, believing that you can accomplish what you think. These are things we kind of almost have to work on every day. And some days will be easier than others, right? Some days you're kind of like, oh, I got it. I got this stuff today. Today is a good day. Everything's going my way. And other days you'll be like, I'm so frustrated with this goal. I don't know if I can reach it. And that's when you have to stop in your tracks and go work on these things I just taught you on your positive mindset. I also like to say, set some daily affirmations. These can be as simple. I like to just put like sticky pads on my mirror or again in your phone as a reminder. And they could be anything. It could be like, I am amazing. I have the most amazing life. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am happy. Whatever it is. Those are things, again, to not trick your brain, but to teach your brain how to be more positive and how to have a positive mindset, how to switch that negative thinking into a positive in your life, right? So the subconscious mind rules most of our life and our days. And these are the things that we have embedded in our life, in our mind, our brain for years and years or years. It's what our parents have taught us. It's what society has taught us. It's what we told ourselves. Now, if we find ourselves, right, setting these goals and then finding back in a loop of pattern that we've done in the past, it might be our subconscious mind that's kind of playing with us. So what we do is we try to, again, switch the thinking. So like, again, I call it switch thinking or mind mapping, whatever it is. So if you start to feel like I can't accomplish these goals, I'll never reach to these sorts of things. I want you to, that's called a limiting belief. I want you to switch it around and then make a new belief. I can accomplish anything I want to accomplish. I am amazing. I know these things kind of sound kind of corny, but they actually really truly work. And I've been doing these mindset things for years, and they really truly with my clients, and they, as corny as they sound, they actually do really work. So practicing working on your mindset is just as important as setting those goals. So I think I want you to see, again, if you can work on these sorts of things. And if you come up with hiccups in the road with these mindset things, I want you to reach out to me or any of these goals. I'm here to help you. All right, so that's a lot about mindset, I know. All right, I'm gonna go back again to, we got the mindset piece. Now we've got these big goals. I like to break them down into 90-day goals and then 2-week sprints. Why? Is because our brain kind of works that way. So if you have big goals, like I want to accomplish this by the end of the year, I want you to break it down. Okay, what can you accomplish in the next 90 days? Look at your goals that way. And then break them down into 2 weeks at a time. Okay, so for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to walk 3 times a week, and I'm going to be aware of yes, mindset is the most important. Maybe I agree. So important mindset. Thank you. So again, so you want to break it down into 2 weeks, saying again, the next 2 weeks, I'm going to, walk every day, and then I'm going to eat 100 grams of protein every day, right? And then I'm going to take those action steps. So any of those 2-week sprints are going to lead us to the 90-day goals. And the reason, again, we do that is because it's a lot to think about all those big goals. So looking at the big goals and then breaking them down into 2 weeks makes it just more manageable. All right, so now again, we got these great ideas. We're going to accomplish these goals. I got my mindset. I got all these sorts of things, but it's life, and life happens. And sometimes there's going to be obstacles in our way. Like that trip to Europe I want to take, where I really want to drink all the alcohol and eat all the gluten and all the bad stuff, but I know I've got goals to reach. So what I like to do is potentially to identify the potential obstacles ahead of time. So I want to have this goal for the next 90 days about this weight loss goal, whatever it is. I'm giving up alcohol, I'm giving up gluten. But I know next week I have that really big party I really want to go to. So what can I do ahead of time to prepare for that? Well, I can bring my own non-alcoholic wine, or I can bring some of these like non-alcoholic beverages, or I can bring my own club soda. I can bring my own food, or I could ask the hostess or wherever we're going, make sure there's options for me to eat, right? So if you have these goals, I want you to look at what can be some potential obstacles. Maybe you're traveling for work and you're not going to be able to get all the workouts in you want to get. Okay, well, how many can we get in? Is there a hotel gym I can go to? Are there workouts Sabrina can give me I can do in my hotel room, right? So planning ahead for these obstacles are super important, so we're not thrown off track. So again, I want you to look at your goals when we do these goals, and then say, are there any obstacles in my way? Is there anything that's going to come in my way that I'm not going to be able to accomplish these goals? All right. So now, again, we've got these goals. We know the obstacles. We got our mindset. We got it all down. What is another way to accomplish goals? Have some sort of accountability. And that's where we come in, right? So being held accountable to reach your goals can actually help you reach your goals. I know I do this all the time with my clients, our clients. Whenever they start out with us, I say, you need to track your food, or can I ask you to track your food for at least the first month? Because I can go look at your journal and then I can give you feedback on it. And they all come back and say, I actually ate a lot healthier because I knew you were going to look at it. And I'm not judging you, but I'm here to say, okay, like me holding you accountable, me seeing you every other week, right? We're coming on these calls every week for the next 6 weeks. So, if I give you a homework to do, this week we're going to have 100 grams of protein every day. And then when we come on the call, I'm going to ask you, did you accomplish those goals? You're more likely to accomplish those goals because someone's holding you accountable. So accountability helps you to be consistent, helps you to have steady progress, and helps you strive towards your goals. So I always say, whenever you're trying to do something, get a coach. Get a nutrition coach, get your menopause coach, get your personal trainer, whatever it is. We've got all that in one with me and Esther. But anything like a business goal, right? Get someone that can help you be accountable, can hold you accountable. If you want to have an accountability partner in this group, go ahead and post in the Facebook group. We can do some accountability partners if that's something you really want. I'm here to help you be accountable. You also want to tell someone about your goals. So you're telling me, you're telling us, but if you want to tell someone you live with or your person you're around all the time and say, hey, I'm really trying to give up alcohol for the next 90 days. So it'd be really good if you can help hold me accountable. So when we go out to dinner, I'm about to order that glass of wine, you say in a loving way, hey, remember that goal you told me about? Maybe we should order some mocktail instead, right? So include other people in your life and your goals. It'll help you to be accountable. I love having a workout buddy, right? So again, if you're looking to get up for those 6 a.m. runs or walks, whatever it is, have someone in your neighborhood or a friend, or if you don't have someone near you, someone's going to check in with you like at 6 o'clock. Did you get up? Are you at the gym? Are you working out? Those sorts of things. So finding an accountability buddy, finding a trainer or coach using us, we are here for you, but being accountable for your goals will really help you to set your goals. Now, when we're going through the goal process, and we can probably take a look at our goals in halfway through our coaching, you want to kind of reflect and adjust. Right? You may not achieve your goals in the time frame you expected, right? Life happens. Something set you back. You had something that. You want to go look at your goals and say, was this realistic? Was I realistic about this goal and the time frame I gave it to? Did I really, truly want to accomplish this goal? Was I passionate about it? All those questions I gave you ahead of time, right? I want you, again, when we write down these goals, to go back and to reflect on it. And then if you need to adjust them, adjust them. Maybe, again, it was too big of a goal and too short of a time. We can adjust that time frame. We want to make sure that you're giving yourself the right amount of goals with the right support, the right time, so you're able to feel like you are accomplished, that you are successful. Then also, you want to make sure that you're not giving up too early. A lot of times, right? A lot of things take time. And us as our society, we want things right away, right? We want instant gratification. I want to lose 20 pounds by tomorrow. Well, don't we all? That's not going to happen ever. And if it does, you're sick. So what are the things, right? Again, are we giving up too early? Are we not consistent? So it's important to set these goals in the beginning and then go ahead in a few weeks or a few months, look at those goals that you wrote down, because we wrote down them, we were specific about them, and we're going to say, did we give up too early? Were these unrealistic? Do I need to change the time frame? Do I need to change the goals? So that is super important too. So the workbook we're going to use, I would love you to share with us, or if you want to, again, if you're looking at it, we can always readjust things. I'm happy to help you with any of that. And one of the most important things too is to celebrate your goals and your accomplishment. I like to set up the celebration in advance, right? When I lose that 10 pounds, what's going to happen? I'm going to go out and buy a new little black dress, and I'm going to wear it out to a fancy dinner. Maybe you're going to go on vacation when you reach the end of this 6 weeks. You changed your whole life, right? So you want to celebrate the small milestones. I'm going to get a manicure if I go ahead and have 120 grams of protein every day this week, whatever it is, or a pedicure if I walked every day, get a foot massage, and then go ahead and celebrate the big wins too. All right, how are we feeling? Have any questions on these sorts of things? Okay, so I'm going to shake this off. I'm going to pull up our workbook. If you don't have the workbook, let me know. I can throw it in the chat. But let me pull up our workbook here for a second. Not all these things. So we went through all of this, went through all of our slides, and we'll give you the slides, we'll give you the recording. If you have any questions, let me know. But here's your goal setting worksheet. Hopefully you guys can see that, right? If you can't, let me know.
We can see it, Sabrina.
What is wrong with the screen?
No, I said we can.
Oh,
We
okay,
see
you
it.
can. Okay, perfect.
Sorry. Yeah, we can see it.
Good. Don't make me curse. No, just kidding. Okay, so you all have this. If you don't, let me know. We'll throw it in the chat, but you all have this. So I want to take a few minutes. If you're here, you can give me some time just to go through this, because again, we've made time for this. If you're watching the recording, again, you can take the time to do this, but I really want to set, we've got about 10 minutes left. And then if you have any questions, you can throw them in the chat now and I'll speak over doing the goals. But here's your goals. You can write in them. You can write them, you can print it out and write on it. But I want you to think about what are some of the goals you want to accomplish over the next few weeks of coaching. And I know who shared it in the chat. I love it. We're going to save that. If you are okay with me, we'll throw it in the Facebook group. If you want to throw it in the Facebook group yourself, that'd be amazing. I'd love to share this with Esther too. So take a few moments again to write down some of your goals. And then again, right, that we talked about in the beginning, not just writing down the goals, but why do you want to accomplish these goals? Think about those questions we ask. Are you passionate about those goals? Is it what you truly want? And this is a question I ask all the time. Again, especially I do like a full moon manifesting workshop every month in my my studio. And it's one thing, do you truly want this? Right. So again, you want to be honest with yourself, because if you don't truly want this goal, it's going to be hard to accomplish because you don't want to do it. Right. And your subconscious is going to take over and it's going to push you and put obstacles in your way. So making sure that you're really putting down goals you want to accomplish. And now, where are you now in relation to your desired outcome or goal? Right. So I want to work out 5 days a week, and then by the next 90 days. Where am I right now? I'm working out 2 days a week for 10 minutes, whatever it is. So I know I have to get from 2 times a week to 5 times a week in the next 90 days, right? So writing down again where you are right now, and then where we're going to go to. Our next question is, what are some resources that you have that will allow you to achieve these goals? So that means you've got, what are some resources? So if you're a group coaching, you've got me and Esther, you've got weekly calls. If you're talking about workouts, you've got weights, you've got recorded workouts. I'm going to send you guys recorded workouts when we get to our training program. You know, I've got, if I'm looking about tracking meals, I've got the Practice Better app, and I can track my meals on there. I've got recipes, all those sorts of things. So just kind of brain dump. What are some resources that you have that will allow you to achieve these goals? And you start to think about things like, oh, I can achieve these goals because I've got all this support going on. I've got all these resources. Our next one is what we started at the beginning of the workshop. I made you close your eyes and picture yourself where you are at the end of the coaching program. So now is the time to kind of write this down if you didn't write it in the beginning, and see yourself. What have you accomplished? Now, one thing, again, talking about goals, and I forgot to mention earlier, sorry, is you want to put it in the present tense, in the positive tense. So instead of saying, I don't want to eat junk food anymore, tell yourself, I want to eat more fruits and vegetables and less junk food, right? Your mind understands positives over negatives. So think about, right? So this is say, don't think about it. Don't think about a blue elephant. Don't think about it. Don't think about a blue elephant. Don't think about it. Don't think about that blue elephant. What are you thinking about? the blue elephant, right? It's just the way our mind works. So when we write down our goals, we want to accomplish anything in your life, you always want to talk about the positives. So again, that talks about that law of attraction. The more positive things you see in your life, the more positives you focus on, the more positives you'll see. You also want to talk about goals in the present tense. So I like to say, in the next 90 days, I am vibrant. I'm 20 pounds lighter. I exercise 5 times a week. I strength train 2 times a week, walk twice a week. I sleep through the night, those sorts of things, right? So you're writing in the present tense. And again, why do I do that? The brain understands it better. The brain does not. So actually the brain doesn't understand between fake and real. So that's why we visualize ourselves. We talk about that meditation and how the meditation makes us like our body makes us feel. If we think about the healthy body, our body starts to act that way. It's because the power of the mind doesn't know the difference between fake and real. So when you start to believe those things, you start to visualize them every day, then your body and your life will catch up with you. It's really cool. So, and these are just questions about how do you feel in the end of our coaching program? How are you different from who you are today? Right. And this is an important thing because you can't be that person if you don't act like that person now. So how are you different from who you are today? So today, maybe you're someone that is a little more lax about their health and fitness. They don't prioritize, working out every day. They take a nap instead, whatever. I'm not saying that you do this. I'm just saying in general. So from who you are differently now, so in your 90 days, you're someone that wakes up every morning with energy. You're someone that writes gratitude list every day. You're somebody that loves the life you're living. You're someone that their body feels amazing. So now you have see that difference from where you are today to where you are in 90 days. Once you start acting like that person and then who is 90 days, you start to become that person, right? So if you say, okay, I hate exercising today. Like it is the worst thing. I hate getting up in the morning. Who likes to exercise? But in 90 days, you want to be the person that loves exercise. So today I'm going to say, you know what? I love to exercise. I love getting up in the morning. I love meeting my friends at the gym. I love doing that personal training session, whatever it is. You start to act like the person you want to be in that 90 days today, and you'll see your life change drastically. So then we talked about this again. What do you want to accomplish at the end of it? Write in the positive, what you don't want. And then again, I talked about that. How will you celebrate these? What will you do to accomplish these goals? We'll have a little celebration for you within our coaching program at the end to celebrate you for graduating for the next 6 weeks program. But I want you to think about what are some things: massage, trip, shopping, whatever makes you feel good, that you can actually celebrate some of your small goals and then some of your big goals. This question's a little thinking question for you. So what will happen if you don't accomplish these goals? So that means, okay, I say, I want to work out 5 days a week, every day. I want to work up energized. I want to feel a big transformation in my body. Now, what happens? I'm not doing the work. I don't accomplish those goals. In 90 days, I feel exactly the same. Well, maybe you've lost time. Maybe you still feel crappy. Maybe you don't like believe in yourself, whatever it is, right? Start to kind of think about what are some things that'll happen if I don't accomplish these goals. I'll still feel crappy every day. So it kind of gives you a little more ammunition to go back and be like, okay, I'm really going to accomplish these goals. I'm really going to feel like successful with myself. I'm going to feel proud of myself. What are some things that you can do, that you will do if you feel like you can't accomplish this goal? That means I'm going to reach out to Esther or Sabrina and say, look, I'm really struggling. I really can't fit in this many days a week. What can we do? I'll tell you, okay, maybe we'll change your schedule around. We'll do certain things. We've got certain tricks for things, right? Maybe you're going to call your accountability partner and say, I really need more help getting up in the morning to work out. Or you're going to talk to your partner, roommate, whoever, your friend, and say, you know what? I can't give up drinking because you drink in front of me all the time. What can we do to work together? Those sorts of things. So what's good about this exercise is if you kind of can see those obstacles now and you kind of write them out, when and if they do happen, you can come back to this worksheet and say, I already planned for this. I'm smart. I know what I'm going to do if I have some setbacks because we already talked about it, right? So now I want you to take one of your big goals and we'll break it down into an action step. If you want to throw one of your big goals in the chat, let me pull up one of your goals. Okay. So I'm going to pull one of it. Let's just take, okay. There we go. We got one over there. Okay. We're going to do lose 5 pounds, right? Just going to 5 to 10 pounds. We're just going to take that goal because it's a simple goal. Most people probably have 5 pounds they want to lose anyway. Don't we all? So if I want to lose 5 pounds by in 6 weeks. Okay, perfect. That's our goal. Action step 1. I'm going to focus on eating enough protein every day. So for my body weight, maybe 120 grams of protein every day. 2, I'm going to schedule 3 strength training workouts a week for the next 90 days. 3, I'm going to reach out to Sabrina or Esther when I'm feeling like I'm struggling. Another 5 pounds. Let's do 4. I'm going to replace any alcoholic beverages because they've got lots of calories. They push back our weight loss with club soda. Right. So get the point, right? Taking those bigger goals, I can't say I just want to lose 5 pounds. Now I can break them down into smaller, more actionable steps. And then, so again, let's take it a little more deeper. What are some action steps you can take to accomplish this goal in the next 2 weeks? So I said, eating more protein, right? Eating more protein every day. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to plan my meals out on Sunday, go grocery shopping, look at my meal plan, and know that I've broken down 3 meals a day into around 40 grams of protein at each meal. Right? See how we make it more actionable? See how now, like, oh, I can totally accomplish these goals because now I have a plan in place. Now I know exactly how to get these things done. Again, if we don't have all the action steps done, that's fine because we're going to help you go through them when we teach you every week on the certain things, but just starting to do these things. And again, please use the Facebook group to reach me, right? I'm happy to help you with all those sorts of things. Yeah. Yes. You need to figure out how much protein. In our second class, I'll go through all that stuff with you. I'll show you exactly how to measure your protein, all those sorts of things. So hold on. But right now, basic, 1 gram of protein per your desired body weight. So if you want to weigh 130 grams of protein a day. And start to use that. I think they have access to Practice Better. Use the tracker and start tracking your meals. And then we can tweak it. And I can show you exact stuff when we get to that section. But yes, I'll figure it out. All right, so I think we've got it all covered. What was it? Brandy, do they have access to Practice Better, right?
We're going to send them access after this call that will have the slides and it'll have the recording and everything. So you'll get access to later today.
Okay, perfect. So in Brandy will send stuff. It's just a journal inside it's called Journal. You track your meals on there and we can share those sorts of things. So if anyone wants to come off mute and ask me any questions, I'm happy to chat. We've got a few minutes left. So I'm here. I'm so excited to meet you guys. If you want to just pop off and say your name if you have time. I know we're probably in the middle of the workday, so you don't have to. But if you do, happy to come off mute, ask anything or introduce yourself. And excited to get started. Hi.
This is Liz. I was wondering, kind of going through the workbook. So when it says to close your eyes and picture yourself where you are at the end of group coaching, what am I supposed to, how does that, I don't know. How do I answer that?
Yeah, so how do you, right? So you join a group coaching for a reason, right? Because you want to accomplish some goals, you want to learn about menopause or how you're feeling. So maybe if you're feeling like overwhelmed with all the information right now about menopause, at the end of 6 weeks, you feel like clear, you feel supported, you feel like energized, those sorts of things.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anyone else have any questions? If not, I will let you get back to your day. I don't want to take up any more time. So again, we're so excited to get started. In 2 weeks, you'll have your first class with Esther. We're going to talk about, I think it's called Make Menopause Your Bitch, or just kind of like the basics of it. The next class will be with me, all about eating. We'll break down your meals. Again, every class will work like this. We'll have a presentation, and then we'll have question and answer. So come if you can live. If you can't come live, you can post in the Facebook group and I will answer the questions on the call. And again, use the Facebook group, just post in there, tag me. I'll be doing mostly interaction with the Facebook group. Esther's on she's always, she's doing something, writing a new book or something like that, but she's always here, but I'm kind of doing the question and answer sorts of things in the Facebook group. So any questions you have, anything that comes up, and we're going to spend an amazing next 6 weeks together. So we get started in 2 weeks. So you've got the next 2 weeks to kind of go over your goals, anything that comes up, we'll hear for you, and excited to get started. So again, we'll see you in person in 2 weeks. Any questions, you can come to that. Again, we'll do the same thing. You can come off mute, ask anything you want, anything else that comes up between that in the Facebook group. Okay, any last questions? All right, ladies, have an amazing day. We will see you guys soon. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.